Testing.
What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
I'm in your chat right now.
Got you.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
First of all, uh, I've been in contact with my attorney, not the attorney that had the fund set up,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been in contact with my attorney, and she's setting up a reward system. It'll be through a trust. She said she's going to have it be able to take Venmo, Cash App, YouTube, not YouTube, PayPal, anything. So it goes straight into the trust. So there will be a reward for locating Sebastian.
Okay, so we'll be able to donate through that trust too. Us as people, we'd be able to pitch in on that.
Correct. I did find out that because the other guy wasn't contacting me back like I was asking him, found out that the 3,500 that was in that was literally promissory notes, which means there was actually no cash in there. So that kind of tells me if that was some businesses that set it up. I have actually found out what the businesses were. So as soon as the trust is set up, what is left after out of the GoFundMe will go into the trust. So that way it's going into there because it's all for Sebastian. It's all for finding Sebastian.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all it is about. Play his interview today. What's your interview today? Did you do an interview today, Seth?
I went on Court TV and interviewed with Mr. Benny.
Mr. Vinny himself. Now, I have a question.
The man. He's the man and he's the myth. Now, the legendary person is Sebastian. Because he just, poof, disappeared like a ninja. Yeah. And that's where we're going to find him.
Absolutely.
There is faith. As soon, people need to understand, I'm not giving up. Every day I wake up from however little amount of sleep I get, it's because God has woken me up and said, time to get on it. If it's 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes. If it's an hour, it's an hour. God will let me sleep for how much time I need to so I can get back on there.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I will never understand what you're going through sleep-wise. I mean, I can only see it though.
I hope you never do. I hope you never do.
I mean, it's all I do know is that
a lot of people are upset with how it was, I think it was played in the wrong order, in my opinion, because we had the vigil. I thanked everybody who was supporting, everybody who was donating, everybody who was going out there with flyers and handing them out. I appreciate all that. But I need answers. And if I have to work with Chris and Katie, I can put my ego and the issues that I am dealing with them aside. Because Sebastian deserves that. Chris approached me, which meant Chris wanted to be on the same page as I was.
So he approached you that day?
Yeah, that was him approaching me at the vigil.
Yeah.
I had just moved my truck up there.
I mean, and I'm glad that you guys could at least talk or work together. And I see people saying, don't dance with the devil, don't do. But again, egos put aside, I don't blame you for, even engaging in the conversation, because at the end of the day, it all is about Sebastian.
It is. That's all it's about. Finding Sebastian, bringing Sebastian home. I mean, I know everybody out there wants to talk trash about me. I'm cool with that. Obviously you ran out of flyers. Now you want to talk trash. Or maybe you need some more flyers. I don't know. Handing out flyers is a good way to get information into TVI.
What do you want to say to those people who are going off of those wicked papers that are flying around of Katie's words? I mean, people keep bringing that up to me, and I just don't,
I don't know. Are you talking about the divorce declarations?
Some of those, yeah. I've been sent tons of different things, but we've talked about it on the phone. You know that.
Yeah, she wrote some nasty things.
Yeah,
I represented myself. I did not have an attorney in that case. I did not have an attorney for my divorce. I represented myself. She wrote declarations. Some of them are leaked. Obviously, not all of them are leaked. And I don't care. That was her writing things against me.
Mm.
I went to court. The court system knew I was homeless. Court system knew that all my license and everything had been suspended because of the accusations that were given to me. I was doing armed security. I was in California. All of a sudden, I had a domestic violence.
Damn.
It was, California, they take the firearms. They literally suspend all of your license. Next thing I know, I'm living in a car.
Damn.
Living in a car. Can't see my son because she did that. And it was like, okay, well, it's just another challenge sent to me from God. The devil's trying to play his cards.
Mm.
But God's got a hand of aces.
Yeah.
I showed up in court. I showed up at GPS. I let them do their investigation. They spoke to me. They, it was like, you ask whatever questions you want. It was all unfounded. They gave me joint legal, joint 50. The judge literally stated, you two need to remember that your parents were Sebastian and go out into the hallway and come up with a parenting plan. Yes, Your Honor. Case dismissed.
Yeah, and you know what? People are assuming, and people have been assuming that, I remember I've talked to you about this, but I'm just bringing it back up for the simple fact that it's still being talked about and people got it mixed up, is that the agreement between y'all didn't have any arguments with him coming to you for the summer. That was agreement from both sides. And you've said that before. That was a mutual agreement between both of you that you were getting him for the summer.
Correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because some people were thinking that it was like, some fight. And I'm like, Seth didn't tell me they argued. That was an agreement from both sides, and they both agreed on that.
Katie moved here. She asked my permission to move to Tennessee with Sebastian. I told her that's fine. I wanted 100%. Him out of California. Without me hearing his voice, the political and the violence and the crime and everything that was going on in California was, COVID was going. I was listening to a scanner every night. I was working 12-hour days, and it was like, okay. I mean, I was break-ins, shooting started happening as soon as business started. Nobody was working. Everything was closed down. Things were getting extremely violent in California. Damn. I was like, yeah, get him out of California. Take him back to America. Take him to Tennessee. I know. I see that hat.
Oh, man. Take him back to Tennessee.
I wanted my son to be safe. It took me 4 months. 4 months, and I moved to Tennessee. There wasn't a long time. I spoke to him every chance that I got over the phone. I was working. I was trying to get things saved up. My vehicle that I had that I was sleeping in during the divorce was starting to, it was leaking oil out of electronic components. Not good, So I had to make sure that I could get a vehicle. I got my truck. I got rid of that. As soon as that happened, I was out. I loaded and packed everything up in my truck and moved up here. 4 months. 4 months I didn't get to see my son.
Damn.
And I had the mindset that, hey, 4 months that I don't get to see him, well, that means I got 24 hours to work.
That's crazy.
So I hit the grindstone. Took me 4 months because I had to pay for a whole year's worth of rent up here in Tennessee because I didn't have a job coming up here. So I had to pay a whole year's rent. I had to sign everything before I got here. And I moved here. I got here in October.
Oh,
turned around, got me.
Yeah. Keep going. You're good. Yeah. That shit's crazy, man. It's something that,
there's a lot that I do. And it's not to talk about me. It's, but I'm a parent. There's a lot I do so I can make sure I can provide for my son. He is my life. He is my grace.
Man, I'll tell you what, this has been a tough 59 days on you. I could tell you
And,
that.
I don't blame Katie for some of these declarations that she wrote. I'm pretty sure most of it would came from her attorney.
Right.
Attorneys are, some of them are just downright disgusting, evil little creatures. Her first attorney that did all this stuff, he was convicted of fraud and lost his license to practice in California.
Damn. That's crazy.
Pretty much. Well, I didn't appreciate the tactics he was using. Signed my name on a couple, legal forms in the court instead of actually speaking to me for me to tell him, no, I don't want another continuation, continuation after continuation after continuation. And I finally went into the court and I was like, listen, I am not signing these things for a continuation. What's going on here? I'm trying to get in front of the judge so we can get this taken care of. And they turned around, they told me that they knew that it wasn't my signature and that the attorney was committing fraud.
Damn, committing fraud. Signing your foreign your signature? That's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure Katie didn't know about it because me and Katie were still talking. We would still have some type of communication. And I was like, why are we doing this? Why is it still going on? I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, the longer the continuation in this was up in the court, I couldn't get my license reactivated.
That's crazy.
So I had to take care of that so I could get my licenses back. And then I had to turn around and pay to get my licensing back. It wasn't just a renewal. I had to take all my classes all over again.
And that was probably thousands, huh?
It wasn't thousands, but,
still cost.
The initial start off, it was, because you're paying full price. And it was like $700 plus a week's worth of class. And it's like, I had to do all of that. Then I had to go back through, and that's just for the pistol and the sidearm. Then I had to get my certs for my shotgun again. Then spray, baton, handcuffs. Everything you have to go back through the training to get your certifications for everything that you do.
Oh man.
And that's just private security.
And that's not including what the type of work you do now.
It's not including going to the range to make sure you qualify for everything too. So, you go through the class, but then you got to make sure that you get, you got to wait for the range to be open. You got to make sure that you can get there and do that. You got to buy the ammunition because you got to bring your own ammunition because they're not going to provide it for you. Ammunition costs a lot. There's just so much that goes into it. And it's not just, oh, this is what I want to do now. And, you spend $50 on a license. Don't happen that way. I was doing military housing as it was. So not only that, but I had to make sure that I had all my clearances for military housing.
Denise said the strength of this man is all inspiring. I said the same thing.
I love to inspire people.
I said the same thing.
There's too many people in this world that like to trash people and to push them down. And I don't mean to trash people at times. I do get heated. I am only human. I am not perfect by any means.
Yes, sir.
I have my faults. I know what my faults are, and I try to work on them. And every day I just wake up, and in God's grace, I try to be a better person than I was the day before.
And that's all you can do. And I think you're doing a damn good job at it. I do. I think you're doing a great job.
Hey, I got you as an example too. Everybody I speak to on the podcast, y'all are an example.
I appreciate that.
Well, you, Pascal. Oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to mention other creators. Right?
No, you can mention them. You're fine. You can mention them.
I've seen podcasts where people don't mention other creators. It's like,
it's all right.
You guys are in the same profession.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this
So
is for sure, for sure. And you know what? I'm glad that you're talking tonight. And I'm glad I could talk to you, man, because it's a privilege to talk to you anytime. And something that's bothering me specifically, and I won't shut up about it, is the damn footage of what is law enforcement telling you that footage captured by the rain camera that on the night that Sebastian disappeared. Are they committing to that being him off of Katie's word, or are they committing to that being him because they got some type of different footage? I mean, I don't know if you can give us some insight into that, but that has been bothering me because
well, I know that I don't have all the knowledge and information that they have on the case.
okay, that makes a lot more sense. So they may have some other footage.
Okay. You know, they're going to keep things close to the chest. They're not going to tell me everything.
Okay.
You know, this is an active investigation, and what people need to realize is that it's an active investigation. It doesn't matter if it's a criminal investigation or what's a civil investigation. It's an active investigation.
Yeah.
It's an active investigation. You know what will tell us if it's criminal?
What will tell us that, Seth? Let us know.
They arrest somebody.
You're damn right. Well, you know what? That brings it to another thing. I had a friend that put in a Freedom of Information Act on the case, and she got this letter back that said open criminal investigation. Are they doing that by mistake?
I don't know. I'm not involved with the department, man. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
it's weird.
Sumner County. That's not. I'm not. I'm with Davidson County.
Mm-mm-mm. I mean, and this is the thing to me is has there been any evidence to suggest that Sebastian left the house after he was last seen on that rain footage?
I know that his shoes were there when I walked in. I know that his backpack was there. I mean, if my son left, we just got to figure out why he left.
Yeah.
You know, a
Right.
lot of people, unless you're actually a parent of an autistic child or you've had dealings with autistic children, their brains do not function like normal people do. All right. And something could happen to him, and then it could be anywhere from later on that day to 2 years from then,
Mm-hmm.
even longer, that the brain all of a sudden will pull that information back out because it's ready to process it. You know, I hate bringing up his essay again, but it's like that happened. And then at the same point in time, he's approached me, and then been 4 years later, and all of a sudden he wants to talk to me about it, and it's like, speak with me, let me know what I can do to help you, son.
So this was something that he opened up to you about.
He's still dealing with it,
Man.
but the thing is that he has a small little conversation about it, and then look, there's squirrel,
Mm.
and it's gone back into his brain. And when his brain is ready to deal with it some more, it will come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's no longer coming back up, and he has accomplished what he needs to accomplish for his brain to have organized that he was a victim, and it was not supposed to be that way. And for him to no longer feel like the victim and be empowered with himself because he has control over himself.
Mm.
And that's where the right type of therapist helps him. But at the same point in time, you don't know how long it's going to be. It's not, victims of SAs, each person is different. So how they're going to handle it is going to be different. And when you mix in with the chromosomal deletion, and then you mix in on top of it with the autism, and then you put in environmental, what's going on around him,
Mm-hmm.
it makes for a complicated puzzle.
It sure as hell does.
You know, I was on Peter Hyatt the other day. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you
You
saw
know, I
it.
watched it, brother. I watched it, and you know, you
I
mentioned
like Peter Hyatt. I
I
mean,
do. He's
if you
very good.
notice, he brought me up on the panel, and I just sat there and I just listened because he is an expert.
Oh my God, dude, he was, and what he talked about on that panel, and we watched it here live. It blew me away, and it just blew me away in a sense of just his theory and the way that he was breaking it down. It just, for me, it was like on the button. And you talked a little bit right after him, and you were like, "Man, I was married to her, you know, I know." And you spoke a little bit, but you didn't speak much. But what you did say,
Right.
it definitely caught my
I
attention.
know what I said.
Yes, sir.
And well, it also caught Chris's attention. And
I
this was
said that.
after, and Chris called me, and I tried to explain to him that what I'm talking about is there are three sides to every story. There's this side, that side, and the perspective of how it intermingles.
Dude, I hit that on
And
the keep
hold
going.
on, Katie tells her side, but what I need her to do is to put her story aside and think about his behavior, his body language, the tone that he heard in the voice. Was he smiling? Did he come out to get a snack and he was being extra quiet? Like, was he trying to be ninja? Was he in that mindset? What was he going through? And that's what I mean by she's not telling the truth because she's not seeing what I'm looking for.
Mm.
It's not that she's not telling the truth with her story. It's the fact that she's not telling the truth of the situation. And I explained that to Chris. And I hope he explained that to Katie because I was talking to Chris.
Yeah,
I've
you.
had communication with Katie, but I haven't had a chance to actually speak to her. And I didn't mean it derogatory when I sat there and I stated she wasn't telling the truth. She she wasn't telling the truth about the whole situation because we don't know exactly what was going through Sebastian's mind. And he's my son. What I need to know to help me figure out this puzzle is to understand his body language. I need her to express to me what his body language was. You know, was his hands in his pockets? Was his head down low? Was was he being quiet?
Mhm.
What was he doing? So I didn't mean it derogatory. I was not trying to sling mud. It's the fact that Peter Hyatt's right, and it clicked on me on what I was missing, and that's why I needed to speak to Katie.
Hmm. Yeah, I knew. I knew. You know what? It's funny you said that because I said as we watched the video, I was like, "Damn, there's gonna be a problem with what Seth said on here." And you just said exactly what I said on the live. I was like, "Man, Chris called you." I was like, "Damn, I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if they stopped talking after this." But you said the opposite though. He actually called you and you talked about it and you explained it. So that kind of makes sense. But I did say that. I was like, "Damn, this is gonna cause something. It's gonna cause something."
And I wasn't trying to cause anything. So when he called me, I tried to clarify it for him, and I'm going to clarify it for you so that you understand where my mind was
Yes,
and
sir.
where it is. Because the whole goal is to bring my son home. I will walk through fucking fire and hell, brimstone, and I will bring the wrath of God to make sure that I can find my son.
Yep. No matter what stone you got to unturned.
Doesn't matter.
Enforcement. Did now this question is killing me, but you're probably they're holding this close to the vest too, probably, huh? Law enforcement confirming whether those clothes from Sebastian that night he wore out to dinner. Did they ever find those?
They're not going to tell me.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell me because that's definitely something that they would hold close to them.
Mm-hmm. Did Chris ever take his polygraph? Do you know that?
I have no idea. I don't care.
Yeah, I was just somebody said that reported it a couple days back, and I seen it, and I didn't know. And people were asking if you were retaking yours, but I don't know that either.
I don't care if Chris took a polygraph. I know where I was at. I was in the garage at 6, and I didn't even leave till 7:20. They already took my phone. You know,
Yeah.
they look back at over 6 months. And we are not allowed to have cell phones. And when you're in the jail, that's a felony.
Mhm.
And I don't look good in orange.
Right. Yeah. No
And
doubt.
every phone call that comes out of that building or goes into that building is recorded.
Yeah.
And like I said, they took my phone. I gave it to them.
Day 2.
I also gave them shit after, about 8 hours. I'm like, dude, you need to give me my phone back. You have no idea. Everybody, I mean, Sebastian's godparents up here in Clarksville,
Mm-hmm.
and I say there because they're over in the other side of Clarksville, which is 40 minutes from here. They actually called Montgomery County Sheriff to do a welfare check on me because when they said, give us your phones, they were like, we'll have them. They were like, we'll have them for like an hour. They had mine for 12.
Damn, they had yours for a while. That's crazy. Then that was day 2. I thought you said, right? Remember they said they took.
I think it was day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't take it day 1. Because day 1 they actually came to my house.
Mm-hmm.
They followed me all the way back here. I took the route that I would take after I picked him up, so that they would know what route I took when I normally pick Sebastian up,
Mm-hmm.
so that we could search that route.
Mm.
They came here and they took the electronics out. They took the PlayStation 3 out of his room. They took my PlayStation 4. They took the Switch. They took the compact notebook thing that my mom gave him for Christmas back in 2020. They took all the electronics.
The PlayStation, I remember seeing that, or the PI at least talked about taking Sebastian's PlayStation and yours or something like that. I think she said.
Yeah, they took my PS4. They took Sebastian. Sebastian has a PS3,
Mm-hmm.
the first one that came out, the 20 gig that was the reverse compatible, so it played the PlayStation 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they took that. Now it don't work. They took my PS4. They took his tablet thing that my mom gave him for Christmas, and they took the Switch.
And they took his Switch.
And they took my other phone.
Yeah. Well, they got all that. And they got all.
They took it all.
They said those lights too were not flashlights; that they were floodlights. That's crazy.
There are videos out there that that are floating around the internet that I haven't even seen, and I don't even know where to start with some of the stuff, because it's like, is that the same video that I watched? Is that the same? That's why getting the PIs helps alleviate me of having to do that research for me to sit there, because I was searching all day, then coming home, scouring the internet to find out what people like Nick Barris was putting out, so on and so forth, information that I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And then doing podcasts and interviews I was burning it at both ends. I'm still burning it at both ends, only it's burning a little bit slower now.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely did burn it at both. You still are, really, though. You're doing everything that you possibly can. You're keeping Sebastian's name.
I've got more gray hair in my goatee now than I did before Sebastian went missing.
I know you're losing sleep. I've heard it. I've talked to you during it. Voice change and everything. You could just tell that you're, stressed out and super tired. But yeah, you're not giving up. That faith is instilled in you, and you're out there looking. Now, I don't know if you can speak on this or not, but I know the PI spoke on this. She said something about SOs in the area. So what is the current focus of the private investigators regarding registered sex offenders in the area? I don't know if you can speak on that any at all, but I remember her saying during the interview that there was something interesting to her, and that caught my attention a little bit.
Yep, close to the vest.
Close to the vest. Keep that close to the vest. That's good. At least it's being looked into. That's all we care about. At least it's being looked into, and I'm glad that you hired a PI that's digging into everything and actually got to sit down with that
Well,
county sheriff.
I can go and knock on people's doors and ask them if it's okay if we search the property, but they don't have to let me. They don't have to let my PI.
Yeah, that's true.
But normally, if I call the person and I ask them, "Hey, is it okay if we search a property? We're looking for my son."
Now,
I haven't been told no yet.
Yeah, that's good. At least you ain't been told no. At least you haven't been told no.
The death threats and stuff that were coming to 150C,
Mm-hmm.
they walked onto private property in the dark at night after I already told them stay off of private property.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a place or location that needs to be searched, bring it to me. I will find the person's name and phone number, and I will call them. Standard operating procedure. I need people to be safe. Permissions need to be asked and granted.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
They didn't do it.
Damn.
I mean, I told them you're lucky you didn't get shot, because if I owned acreage and I saw somebody, because I would have no trespassing signs up. Welcome to Tennessee. You're trespassing on private property. You might get shot. And it was a horse ranch. Now people still steal horses these days,
Right. That's crazy, but yeah.
We're not in the country western days, for horse thieves, but people still will steal people's livestock. That horse may be a $1,500 horse, or it might be a $25,000 stud. You don't know the lineage of that horse. Well, I'm going to protect my livestock as much as I'm going to, maybe not as much as I'm going to protect my son, but I'm still going to protect it because it provides for my son. It's my livelihood. So, I mean, it's common sense, and they didn't use it, and it began a shit show. Can I say that online?
What was there again? Somebody said, Seth, what is KP and CP doing now to help work with you? Can you please define that so all the false rumors can stop?
Hold on, I'm going to read without a lawyer on these platforms.
Yeah.
I've sent stuff to Chris and Katie so that they know what I'm doing, and I'm waiting on responses back that they approve of it. We're communicating, working together.
That's good. I think that's good, and it's a step in the right direction, at least for everybody to be on board. Not only that, it's you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, man. You're doing it for Sebastian. You're to drop an ego like that. You know how hard that is for some people to do because of grudges from the past. That just shows the strength of your character, in my opinion. That you're able to, hey, let bygones be bygones. We're searching for Sebastian here. We could put this shit behind us. This is about finding Sebastian, keeping his name front and center, and keeping it like that until he's found. And then you could sort all that bull crap out after that. And I'm glad that you were taking a step in that direction, man. It takes adults to do that. It really does. It really does.
Yes, it does.
And I'm glad that you were able to do that, man. It keeps showing exactly your character, in my opinion, that you're willing to go to any dead end, no matter. I mean, even if it's a dead end, you're willing to go there and check, no matter what. And I like that about you. I like that you are just doing whatever you possibly can to keep his name front and center. And there's 16,468 signatures on the actualchange.org. I see. What is FBI assisting in this case? Do you know that or not? Or are they sitting back right now?
They're assisting.
Oh, they're okay. So FBI is assisting. That's great. That's great. I'm glad they are assisting, man. What can you
They assist when that scammer who was reaching out to people on Facebook trying to get like $100. It's saying that he had Sebastian and doing these horrible Photoshop pictures.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
it was the FBI that assisted me with that. They,
That's
the
good.
person that is my liaison with the FBI, they picked up the phone when I called, and they assisted me with that.
Mm.
And the thing is that if me and Chris and Katie had been working together, Chris and Katie already knew, and I didn't. But if we'd been working together, it wouldn't have given me undue stress, worried that somebody had my son. And to find out 4 hours later, after we're done, that it was just a scam. But it still takes time and resources away because they still have to investigate into it. So it's just something else that's slowing down the investigation. That does not help Sebastian when every day counts.
It sure doesn't. Now, I did hear your PI talk about Sebastian knowing the path to the ice cream shop and the route to your house. Did you guys search in those certain areas that of the paths that he does know?
We are.
Okay. That's why.
Now, a lot of people don't know that we're searching because we did take it private.
That's a good
because there was TikTokers that were taking pictures of the volunteer list. Well, that's nobody's business. That's just for our accountability to make sure at the end of the day that everybody that went out came back. And to me, that's overreaching. We had people showing up at the rudder, just sitting in their car, videotaping everybody on their phone. And it's like, we don't need this. So we turned around, we spoke to everybody that is part of the initial search group, which we still appreciate anybody who wants to help. TBI has stated that the flyers have brought in more leads than anything else. And we still need people to put out, the flyers for Sebastian.
That's good. Well, I know there's tons of people doing that, and the link is still out there. You guys can get it off the TBI website. We could drop it in chat. I drop it in chat for everybody here, but I'm speaking for people who are just coming in. It's on the TBI website. You can print the flyers out from there, or you can get them in chat from the mods. If you want to support Seth and on his journey to find Sebastian, mods will drop that in chat. I'm pretty sure they.
It's not supporting me. It's not supporting me.
Supporting Sebastian.
It's supporting Sebastian. It's allowing me to get more resources to find Sebastian.
Absolutely.
It's not about supporting me.
Well, you know what I meant. I meant supporting Sebastian.
100%. I know what you meant, but some people don't.
I get it.
Every dollar that comes in is for more resources for Sebastian.
Absolutely.
The only thing I care about is finding my son.
Seth, what can we do for you right now? What for us as the people? What can we do?
A prayer would be great.
A prayer would be great. Okay.
Keeping the faith.
I got you. Prayer. That's. You heard the man. He said a prayer would be great. Say a prayer for him. He needs it. He definitely needs it. Going through all this,
I'm a pathological liar. Thanks, Mello. Peace, dude.
Damn. Oh man. Is that what's
go pass out some flyers?
Oh man, this one. Since Sebastian has Seth's cell number memorized, has there been any attempt to contact him directly? I would think that would be known.
No, my cell phone stays on. It stays loud and proud. And anytime it rings, I pick up whether I know the name that's calling or number or not. I answer that phone every time it calls. And believe me, my phone number for some reason has gotten out. So I get weird calls from people,
Damn, that's weird.
but I'm not going to change it. Sebastian knows my phone number. He has memorized it. I made sure that he memorized my phone number, and this has been my phone number since I moved here in 2020, and I made sure Sebastian memorized my phone number.
Who's the this one is that's what is the status of the weapons in the Proudfoot home, and why is the digital detail significant? I see ya. I don't know.
Digital details.
That's a investigator question. What were the results of using thermal imaging and potentially luminol in the investigation? Do you know if they used luminol in that house? And that's probably going to be something.
Any of that sort of stuff would be something you would want to reach out to the TBI.
I talked to I had Jennifer Coffindaffer on here, and I was talking to her. She's ex FBI for 27 years. She said they searched there 10 times that she knows of, and that I said, "Do you think they would have used luminol?" She said, "Absolutely." That's what she said.
I've heard her name mentioned a few times. I don't know her. I've never spoken with her.
Yeah, ex FBI. She that's what she said when I asked her that. So I don't know if she's correct or not, but
If she's ex FBI and she wants you have her contact information.
Yes, I absolutely do.
I give her my contact information. If she'd like to reach out to me, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll pass it on to her. I just, yeah, definitely. Now that you said that, I'll give you or her your information, and
now you can give her my information so that because I'm, I answer the phone when people call anyways.
Absolutely.
It might be Sebastian.
Yeah, and for you again. How can the community assist further as far as they just keep handing flyers out, prayers,
keeping the faith?
Keeping the faith.
Got to keep the faith. Can't let evil win.
Yeah. Do you know, were they able
keep the faith?
I'm confused here when it comes to the retention pond. Like, I don't know if you could provide details about the scent trail leading to that retention pond. What has been concluded from that lead? Was it really a false hit?
No idea. That if you watch my court TV, you know I'm bringing in dogs that are more trained than what Sumner County had. Nothing against Sumner County, but these dogs are better. So
that's good.
I'm bringing them. It's like I said, this everything that comes in, it's to get resources in.
Thank you, son.
I've already sent that stuff over to Katie, for Katie and Chris to look at the certifications for these dogs. These dogs are top notch.
Top notch. So you got top notch dogs going out here. That's awesome.
DOD certification, FBI certification, you name it, they've got it.
Are they researching within the Proudfoot residence where Sebastian?
I'm not telling you nothing.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna know. You tell me you ain't telling me nothing. That's where I stop. Because I mean that's stuff that is close to the vest, and I know you're out here.
Stuff to the vest.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Too many people. It's already bad enough that certain people were on the property, going to interfere with any sense and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then more people driving around, walking around, trying to keep the scene as valid as good as possible currently, so that the way the dogs can do their best job.
Yeah, I'm glad you got those dogs coming on there. Now, I gotta ask you this. Do you think that he was capable of running away and leaving the house? Do you think so?
Anything is possible, man.
Right.
If you left the house, we just got to find the trail. We got to figure out where he went.
That's an absolute. The thing that baffles me is I've looked at this neighborhood, Seth, and there's houses on the other side. There's an alleyway that leads from that fence where you can cross through and come out on what is that? Kellen Lane, I believe. So it's like there's housing all the way on both sides. And if he was walking out, you figure he would be seen. I mean, I know it'd be nighttime, but because Katie said she last heard him at 10 p.m. or at least heard his voice at 10 p.m. So if he left on that neighborhood in foot, you would think somebody's camera in that neighborhood would have captured him. Hopefully they checked.
It was dark, and supposedly he was wearing dark, and I have to trust the process. I trust the process.
You gotta. I know, Seth. I'm praying for every damn day that he comes home. I too have autism. Says Smoke in chat.
I saw Smoke the other day. Was he on yours?
Yes,
Or,
he is.
yeah.
That's my best friend right there. He's a good guy.
He's a very unique individual.
He is. He is. He is that, man. And
I don't know if he's as unique as my son. But
Sebastian, man. Sebastian. Well, Seth, I do appreciate you calling up and coming on.
you texted me first.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
People think that I just wanted to jump on and interrupt your show.
No,
the
hell
whole point
no,
was you texted me.
Yeah, I absolutely did, 100%.
I'm going to respond.
You always do.
So,
every single time. Every single
might take
time.
me a minute because I respond to everybody who texts me or calls me.
You absolutely do. Every time that I
never know if somebody's got information. If somebody has information, if you can collect it for me and get it to me, I research it, I investigate it, and I hope that it leads to a possible sighting or more information that Sebastian somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good. And I forgot to ask you, did Sebastian? I seen the certificate that he got, and from that high school, I actually seen a picture of it, and it made me think this: was Sebastian in IEP at school? Like, was he in an IEP
he had an
program?
IEP.
Oh, okay, he did.
Yeah,
he did have an IEP program. He was in the IEP program. So was I back when I was a kid. Did he use the internet at school?
I have no idea. That's something the school would have to answer. I mean, I know people who give him, written grief, but me and my son had conversations on the internet, on internet usage and things like that. I mean, even the tablet that they took, like, I would have never checked his tablet. And it had access to the internet. The last time he used it was 2021.
Damn. Yeah, 2020.
My son, when he was here, he was a kid. But when it came down to important things that we had discussed, he knew the important things that he needed to abide by for his safety.
The footage, I see that.
And you have to trust your kids at some point in time, because sooner or later they're going to leave the nest. You just hope that they remember everything that you taught them. And I got to get him back so that I can finish teaching him everything. I haven't taught him all the knots that you could tie for fishing.
For someone, if I gotta ask you this too, if Sebastian left with someone, how would he act if he's not? You know what I mean? How would he act if he's not with anyone? How would he be with a stranger? Like, that's the part that has me thinking too. Like,
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've seen him react to people that he doesn't know in my presence. Okay. But how would he react without me around, or his mom around, or Mr. Chris around? We don't know. We don't have any clue, because obviously we've never seen it.
Absolutely.
He's not on his medication either. The medication he was on, that was, some of that stuff you have to wean. You have to take lower dosage as you come off of it. So I don't know. I mean, we're talking about almost 2 months that he hasn't been on his medication.
Damn, man.
There's too many variables for me to answer some of these questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I do not know all the answers.
Yeah,
If I knew all the answers, I'd know where my son is.
that's a fact. That is a fact. You would definitely know where he's at. Did somebody? There's a question. Who watched Sebastian after school? I'll ask it.
From my understanding, he would go home and do chores and his homework until his mom came home. Well,
Hmm. A bare footprint? Somebody, Lori in chat, Lori Shortlegs, I see your comment. A man in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Charlie Briley, found a bare footprint. He called it in today. Huh. Interesting.
okay. He called it into law enforcement or TBI.
Yeah, that's a
Because
great question.
any type of anything needs to be called into TBI. Anything for Sebastian, call into TBI.
Did he need his electric devices if he left? Oh, you mean
What electric devices?
I think they know what I think I know what it like. Would he need his phone if he left or whatever? I think that's what they're asking.
I mean, he didn't have his phone.
Have the Bauer socks been vetted? I have no clue, Just Jen. That's a question I see every single day.
Can't answer the question because I don't know.
Yep.
Has the Rogers been vetted? Yep.
Please ask Seth if KP and CP lived here in Virginia. It shows they lived here around the time of COVID. In Hampton?
COVID?
Yeah, COVID.
I have no idea. COVID started. I know that I was in California, and so was Katie. Because Katie moved to Tennessee in 2020, because I followed 4 months later in 2020.
2020. There's some of these you can't answer. There's no way. I see a lot you can't. I love that you guys all have questions, and there's tons of them. Seth, we continue to pray, asking God to reveal where Sebastian is, and he is returned safely to you. Misty Fisher.
Thank you, Misty.
Can Seth talk about Sebastian Rogers' IEP he has at school, his routine, his struggles? Because, like you just spoke about, SR's behavior could help you. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jennifer.
The fact that he would get frustrated when he couldn't answer a math problem, or, he would be reading the paragraph and he didn't want to answer the question in his own words. I mean, some of the things are pretty typical. Like,
well, yeah, you're right. There are typical IEP. I text you personally. Would love to know. Okay, I'll check it out. Don't worry, I will check it out. Asking for the second time, please ask Seth how did they call sheriffs at 6:38 or 6:30 a.m. if sheriff office doesn't open till 8? Says the site.
That would be a good question for you to reach out to the sheriff's department for an answer, because I do not know.
Yeah, that's a great point. Call them for an answer, because that's crazy. They don't open till 8 o'clock. That's good information to know. I appreciate you, sending that through.
I mean, Davidson County Sheriff's Office, in Davidson County, home office is not open, but if you call DDC, there's always somebody there. The sheriff's office that's the jail. Somebody's normally at the jail, but that's just Davidson County. That's all I know for the SOP. Someone always answers the phone when you call Davidson County. Sumner County is not my thing.
Sumner County. Offender map in the area where Sebastian missing. Yeah, I seen it, Venus. There was a decent amount, and I did hear the PI speak about one that was about maybe a mile or less, but that was spoke about on Surviving the Survivor. which was a great show, by the way, and it was very informative. I think that covered a lot of bases, and the notes that I took from that, I have them right here. It said what the
I
lights
don't
were not.
mean to be rude.
Yeah, you're good. Keep going.
Well, no, I've been on the phone for an hour with you.
Oh, you're good. You're good, Seth.
I do have other people in my team that you need to call back.
You do your thing. Hey, look,
I'm
I appreciate.
I'm trying to get the next vigil set up for, we're trying to make sure we get everything done for Friday for lighting the path to Sebastian, and we're trying to set up another vigil next month.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I love everybody, whether you love me or not. God has, room for you with Him. Just keep the faith. Keep the faith. Sebastian's army is strong, not just in numbers, but in faith. We must keep the faith.
Absolutely. And you know what? I do want to share this with you before you get off the phone right here. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today with heavy hearts, seeking your comfort and strength for the families of Sebastian, Wayne, Drake, Rogers, and the Rev Gang family during this challenging time. As we mark 59 days since Sebastian's disappearance, we ask for your love and presence to envelope his family, friends, and all who are touched by this uncertainty. Lord, we pray for guidance and wisdom for the search teams and all involved in finding Sebastian, Wayne, Drake, Rogers. May your light illuminate their path and lead them to discoveries that bring hope and resolution, and grant them perseverance and clarity as they continue this important work. We also lift up again the Rogers family, asking you to provide them with peace that surpasses all understanding and the courage to face each day with faith. May they feel your support, Lord, through the care and the love of their community. In these moments of sorrow, remind us of your promise to be near to the brokenhearted and to save those who are crushed in spirit. We trust in your mercy, Lord, and your grace, believing that you are working all things for good. We ask all of this in your holy name, Lord. In the name of thy son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you.
Amen. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. God bless you, brother. Anything you need me to share, I'm here. Stay in contact. God bless.
God bless you and everybody, please. Again, keep the faith. We're two people together. God here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Thank you, brother. Amen to you. I hope you have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty, buddy.
God bless, my brother. Seth, I appreciate Seth Rogers, taking that time to call in. I did ask him. I said, "Hey, is there any updates? Let me know. Call in. I want to talk to you." My man called the phone, my actual personal phone. So shout out to Seth for calling in and talking a little bit about some things. I'm gonna open the lines back up 219-885-9693. I see a lot coming through that I've missed. Hold on. Let me see this real quick. 1 second. Before we open the lines up, I see tons of these. Holy smokes. You guys are flying tonight. Darlin says, T-REV, I texted you just personally. I would love to know your thoughts on that. Thanks for covering this and doing the best to advocate for him. Thank you, Darlin, for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. If I missed some of you guys' questions, I apologize.